All right, good morning, traders. Dale Sutter Trader Boys. Let's take a look at the markets here. So we've got the S&P futures. S&P futures coming through here. Uh, okay, so we've broken the upper trend line. So we got some strength here yesterday, as in market recap there yesterday. So um, we're looking into the demand area. We got to push out of the demand area there yesterday. Nice big strong move up. This is your overnight session known as the Globex session. And we're still in the Globex session as we speak. So we're going to have another 29 minutes in the Globex session. But you can see we're coming into trading highs, Globex highs right here, overnight session highs. We've got an area of supply just above us, working with the 200 period moving average coming through here. So this area of supply, I'm not too worried about. It is a strong support resistance area. So probably the kind of the expectations here is to look up into supply, look for the retracement. There's a little area of demand right here at 34.55, 3455. That's going to work with the 20 period moving average as well as this trend line. So if we do get a push up and the retracement, this would be a great area to get long the market. Always remember around 10 a.m. is a reversal time in the market. It's very, very common. Around 80% of the time, the market is reversed at 10 o'clock in the morning. So for those looking to get entries today, that would be a great possibility. Now, if we're up into this area at 10 a.m., I wouldn't expect too much of a short position to the downward direction. We're expecting now a several days upward direction from here. So we shouldn't have too much of an issue. They're still out there with the stimulus talks. Eventually something's going to get decided, and that would most likely be positive for the market. So there's your recap on the S&P 500. This is your Russell, and the Russell is the powerhouse right now. So it's really pushing through real strong. So big move up in the overnight session, just continuing to move higher. Nice strong move. Already had a retracement here. So possible is sideways and then look for the breakout. There still is overhead supply. So let's kind of come out to the bigger picture and take a look. We've still got this resistance area here that we retraced from earlier last week. So this area here, we spent a lot of time in here, so there shouldn't be too many unfilled sell orders still remaining by the institutions here. So it should be too difficult to push through here and get back into the highs back in here. So Russell 2000 is just the powerhouse, just pushing through. So those smaller cap companies are where you want to be to have the greatest probability. This is where the money's really flowing into the markets. Take a look at the NASDAQ. NASDAQ is the one struggling right now. And nice big push off yesterday. And then we're kind of gone sideways here in the overnight session. Area of supply here has been taken out already. We're above this moving average, above the trend line. So we're looking positive. If we get the break here, what we may see is a short squeeze. And that's all the participants that are short the market, making money in the downward direction. Once we push up and that starts moving up and they start losing their profits and giving their profits back, they buy the market to get out of those transactions, and that pops this market. So if that was to take place, you can see a nice big strong surge on the NASDAQ to the upward direction. We do have this area of supply above us, which is a proven supply area. That's going to coincide with this trend line coming through here, which really isn't that important. We can actually get rid of that one. But you're going to be working with that 200 period moving average coming through in this area here. So expectation, if we get the pop, look for the retracement, and that would be very, very healthy for the markets then to have the continuation up next week. Moving over and taking a look at the VIX. Take a look at the VIX. On the VIX, we did break below this area of demand on the VIX, so that is bullish for the markets. That is bullish for the markets. So that's promising to get this kind of launch for the next few days up in the markets next week. So we can get the continuation of the VIX falling. That's going to give us the indication that the institutions are removing the insurance from their portfolios, and the fear of the market is coming out. Big events next week are big earnings on a lot of the big tech companies coming through. So as that news hits the markets after market close, there's going to be a lot of volatility. Now, with a lot of volatility, you may see the VIX rise to protect against that unknown movement of earnings announcements. Moving over to gold. So gold has made a bit of a recovery. We had a deeper retracement than expected through here. Right? So all a retracement is when you're in the upward trend and you come down. So we were just expecting a retracement back to the trend line here, and then to get the launch up. That didn't happen. We came up into the trend line, proven resistance, pushed it nice and deep, which is not a bad thing. All the way down, you can see the long tail right here. That's representation of buyers. Pivot low here, turning point in the low part of the market here. Turning point of the low part of the market here, so-called pivot lows. And we just created that again. So we know the buyers are sitting down here at 18.95. Now we're starting to move up. We're back above this trend line that you can see was used as resistance here. And we're looking for the progression to the upper direction now. Break above this candle's high, which is going to be your Globex high, your overnight trading session high. We can really see this start to move and get in the upper direction. You can see we're now above where this trend line would have been. So broken above the trend line, that's bullish, that's positive, that's power. Move up into where these unfilled sell orders are. There's a supply level right here. Look for the retracement back down into the space. Moving with all of these moving averages here, with the lower trend line rising here. And you can look for then a long entry as a longer term play back into the 2000s plus. So a lot of this is going to be dependent on the stimulus package. If they stimulate more, that drops the dollar. Drop the dollar, money's going to run to gold. And this can be a very, very strong play on the stimulus package waiting to be announced. Last one here is Lulu. We'll kind of jump over and let's look at Lulu on a multi-time frame session here. So let's break it down. Lulu, extremely powerful. Lulu is a COVID play, as they have the mirror system for working out at home. So on the weekly chart, not the best weekly chart. Nice deep retracement here. We've come up and we've retraced again. So we got a lower pivot high. So not the best scenario right there, but we are into now a strong area of demand on the daily time frame. So coming into this chart here, let's just blow this up. You can see this area here where we stalled. So we dropped, we based sideways, and then we had the nice big strong move out. So there's unfilled buy orders here that was proven yesterday. We've now got a hammer candle sitting here, and this is one of my favorite candle formations. So what we're looking for today is a break above this candle's high. And we're looking for that follow through coming through into the marketplace. So dropping down to a 4-hour time frame. Here's that little demand area. We did not get a higher candle high in the 4-hour yet, so we do have a bullish Harami here. So we've got a hammer candle on the daily chart, bullish Harami on the 4-hour time frame. So again, just looking for a break above the candle's high here, and we can then look to go long. There are sellers located here at $336. There are sellers there. Shouldn't be too difficult to break through that area. Expectation, come up into this area, base sideways, and then look for the breakout play. So if you want to wait on this and take this trade once you've got proven strength in, we already have proven strength here, and breaking above these candles high would be a continuation of that proven strength. If you want to wait on this a little longer to make sure that the NASDAQ starts to come to town to play, that's not a problem. Right? Stacking the odds and the probabilities in your favor is exactly what successful traders do. So this is just coming down a 30-minute time frame. Nice big strong move out of here. Little area of supply right here. This here, ideally, what we don't want to see, again, if you want to have greater confirmation on the transaction, break above this area of supply, wait for the retracement coming back down, and then you can look to take your transaction. Right? So huge amount of strength coming in here based on the MACD here. So everything's looking great. You can see here we've got the higher. So huge amount of momentum pushing into this one. So that's looking good. Let's jump over. Let's take a look at Amazon. On the weekly time frame, Amazon also put in a lower pivot high. So this is actually bearish. Beautiful retracement here. So we can just have the highs retracing. Now when we do this, a lot of time what we're looking for is kind of that slingshot effect to go to new all-time highs. So there's a great little demand area here on the weekly time frame, which we're also going to experience on the daily time frame right here. So proven unfilled institutional buyers by this candle here, as well as yesterday, the buyers came in and stepped into this market. Let's drop down to the 4-hour time frame. It's pretty much going to tell us the same thing. Breaking above this upper trend line, possibly this morning. We don't 31.93, so we're looking for about a $15 higher open right now on this market. So we are going to gap up. So this could be a gap and go. Now, if it doesn't gap and run, And what we're going to be looking for is the gap fill strategy with a 10 a.m. reversal. And so all that is market opens here, it trades down in the downward direction, come back down to this 31.76 area right here. And around 10 a.m., we're going to be looking for that entry point to then trade Amazon. Now, Amazon's got a massive amount of upside potential. So first target will be coming in right here at 33.16. Right, second target will be coming in at 34.13. Right, and then what you want to do is leave the remaining portion of your transaction as a runner to see how high this could run and where we go from here. Coming into the election and all of these kind of wavering principles taking place in the markets right now, it could really take off and it could not. Right? So there's a lot of uncertainty, a lot of unknowns. So you want to be managing your risk, taking profits according to your charts, but also leaving a portion of the transaction on to let it run to maximize your returns. So this should come down 30-minute time frame. On the 30-minute chart, we have broken that trend line. We are gapping up this morning on this transaction. So either gap and run or wait for the retracement if it does, and then look at the 10 a.m. reversal of demand to then trade up in the upper directions. So a lot of potential there on Amazon, looking strong, looking good, with the buyers already stepping into that market. Always got to take a look at Apple. Everyone wants to know what's happening with Apple. Apple on the weekly time frame is doing the same thing as the other tech stocks, and that is it has a pivot low. It has not retraced 50% of its impulsive move on the upper direction there. So the impulsive move is the long move up. Right? Then you've got your corrective moves, so the short move down inside an uptrend. We've only come down a small portion, a small percentage of that up move, of the impulsive move up. So this is showing power and strength. We do have a demand level right here on the weekly time frame. So great opportunity to get into Apple here. Let's break this down to the daily chart. On the daily, it's kind of a mess here in the base. Right? So this is the breakout of the triangle formation, up, retracement back to the breakout, and then looking for that move to the upper direction. Apple right now is looking to open at 116.20, so a slight gap up. So we're not going to be opening above this daily high. We're not going to be opening. So we want to make sure the strength is coming into play before we're entering in this transaction. Let's drop down to the 4 hour and see what the opportunity is here. There's little demand here on the 4 hour time frame. Again, messy. Right? So right in here, we didn't have the strong explosion until we get that gap right here. So not the best demand area. You can see it's proven demand here. So ideally, you want to wait to get above 118.10, and then you want to strong move up, close near the high of the candle, look for the retracement, and then take your trade to the upper direction. So Apple is a great candidate. It's just not in the position just yet to show us the strength and the buyers that come into this market. So it's a waiting game. Patience is what we need on Apple. Another player on the COVID here is Peloton. You can see Peloton, massive move up here, more than doubled in price since August. Just huge move up. And everyone's buying a Peloton bike, getting on their programs with the gyms closing down. You've got the demand level right here on the daily time frame. We've just hit that demand level. Buyers have stepped in, looking good there. On the 4 hour chart, you can clearly see that demand level. There's a sideways, nice breakout to the upper direction, beautiful retracement coming back down in. So on the 4 hour time frame, we've got the buy off the demand, looking for the retracement. We have a bid on this right now at 121.30, which is right here. So not a great deal to do on this. If we get the retracement back down, I would want to see retracement back into about 117.6. Right? 117.60 would be a beautiful entry point. Your stop loss is going to go all the way down here below 113.81. So there's quite a bit of risk in this, but you can also see there's a huge amount of upside potential. Target one would be coming right through in this area right here of 124.95. Target two would be coming in at 130.95, 130.90. Would be target number two. And then again, third remaining portion of your transaction, let run to see how high this can go. But you get another great opportunity here. Again, we hit the supply level here. We got the retracement of that supply level. We're looking to either come deeper into this area. I would like to see that reduces your risk, increases your reward, and you'll be coming back down into the area through here where there's a support resistance area on a Peloton. Last one I want to look at here was just as a kind of a recap of a trade that we posted weeks ago. It has been a picture perfect transaction, and this is on FOCS. So this was the entry off the weekly demand level. Got the bottom of the market here, 129.84, and we're now just hitting the supply area of $40.37. And you can see this stock here is just being straight up, like, even though the market has been coming down. So really strong company, massive accumulation by the institutions, really pushing up strong. Where we should see some basing through here, right? And then probably the continuation of this to new all-time highs and continuation of the run. So absolutely beautiful trade, picture perfect. It has done everything we wanted to do, and this is the type of transactions we're looking for more of the time. Devil's Cycle Trader Boys, have a phenomenal weekend. That is it for me for today. Been great spending the morning with you, and we will see you. Keep your charts